When it comes to a bond approval process, engaging with the fastest turnaround time is not always in your best interest as a home loan applicant and as a property purchaser. The reason for that is sometimes there are certain complexities involved in getting you the optimum approval that you would desire or that you would prefer to have. When we rush the bond application process, we usually encounter things like high interest rates, declines, outright declines without explanations. We encounter things like lower offers being offered that should actually be looked at a higher percentage loan value. So there's various problems that we encounter if we embark on a home loan application with the notion of, I need to get this done quickly within a super fast turnaround time, and I cannot afford to wait. This application that you're encountering with your bond originator or with whichever channel you decide to go with, it is actually going to impact your pocket for 20 years or 25 or 30 years, depending on the loan term that you wish to take up. So it is actually a good idea and in your best interest to make sure that you have a sufficient timeline within which to secure all the options from the various banks and to make sure that you're getting the absolute best outcomes. Challenge the banks with what they initially offer you is one of our pertinent steps involved when applying for your home loan. We don't just take the system automated offer that we're securing for you as gospel. We will actually challenge that, go back to the drawing boards at the bank's credit assessors and find out a little bit more. Maybe there's a better option on the table, there's a better interest rate. A lot of the times the applications are system generated, I need to back up, not the applications, but the approval responses we receive are system generated. And these system generated offers haven't been tweaked or reviewed on a manual basis to say, oh, maybe there's a higher loan to value percentage we can offer. Oh, there's maybe a better higher interest rate we can look at. Or a better loan term, etc., etc. So there's an appeal process that takes place with the originator that you appoint in securing your home loan. And just to revisit, the reason why we like to have a certain amount of time to process these applications is to make sure that what we come back to you from the banks is actually something worth looking at and something that you're going to be excited about and feel confident in taking that offer and saying, yes, Erlen, I love this offer. I feel comfortable about it. I'm happy to sign up a 20, 25 year, 30 year loan approval on the basis of this presentation you've given me. Just to unpack a little bit, there have been challenging applications that we do encounter as bond originators. And sometimes the offer to purchase gives you only 2 weeks, maybe 21 days at most. And sometimes there are things that we require extra documentation for example, for self-employed applicants. The financials or the latest management accounts haven't been drawn up as yet at the time of initially applying. So we actually need to engage with the services of your accountant to get them on board to giving us the extra documents that we need or the latest updated financial reportings. What that entails is us perhaps going back to your estate agent and then asking them for an extended time period on that offer to purchase that was initially signed by yourself and the seller. So, that's just some of the things that we would look at actually extending your time period allowed by the seller and the estate agent in initially securing your optimal home loan offering. And you should, as the purchaser, being the payer of this home loan, have the right to actually request extended time frame on securing the best offer for you. And this is just some of the services that we look at giving you as a home buyer so that you can be rest assured that there's someone in your corner that's actually looking at getting the optimal outcome and also just, presenting your case to the estate agent and to the sellers in a positive format. because a lot of them are flying blind perhaps, or they don't really see the inner workings of the background that's happening with your application. And we can then provide that insight to your estate agent or to the seller, depending if you're doing a private purchase. We can provide that insight and context on your behalf if you do require, a further time period within which to work on getting that approval. And I've seen, just by being relentless and being persistent on our side, we've actually been able to overturn a flat out decline from a whole range of banks, right? And just by getting this extra time extended and pushing back and really sitting with the nitty-gritty and details of an application and unpacking the merits of that application, we were actually able to overturn that and get a positive approval response. So, it's not always the no's that we get upfront that we accept and take it as this is actually a no and this is actually a decline. We actually challenge the banks and we go back to the drawing board because we've actually taken a diligent approach to looking at your documents, looking at the case, consulting in depth with you as the individual purchaser. Or let's say it's a multiple applicant application. We take the time to unpack your case and make sure that we're presenting your application in the best possible light.